They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Kyle Van Noy. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Check it backer. Hey, get him, you got him.
Miller. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
We're set. 19.
51's the mic. I'm coming.
19-9. 9 go.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st down, Miller. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
This is it. 19.
Check. 42's the mic. Army. Hey, switch.
24.
Kill. Watch the ass. Shift. You.
Again, it's Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
From the gun, here's Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 29-yard line.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Don't get nervous.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Kyle Van Noy make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Reset. 18. 9.
Tight end right. 4 down, off. Chill. Go, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Watson on third down. He's going to let this one go deep. Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
He's got it at the 15. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 60 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Crew able to connect on the extra point. Back now in Houston, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
2nd and 2. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And they will finally get him to the ground as he's forced to tuck it and take the sack.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Jones has it. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Check, crunch, crunch, crunch. Check, motion, 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 motion. No, off.
They'll run with Miller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards on that one and also a Texan first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Rush in. Rush in. Check, 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 check.
Check 4 and a go.
Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Say. Check, check. Fresno.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. Trucks over him. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Meanwhile, in Foxborough there in the fourth quarter, the Patriots, they have taken the lead late in that ball game. If they hold on, a victory there would be their third of the year. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Kyle Van Noy has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that?
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Who's that? team! Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
It's 2nd and 2 at the Packers' 1-yard line.
Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. Again, it's Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On third down, Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So for the Texans, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon.